Hey guys, and welcome back to rae&elmo, where we talk about our lives here in Jamaica, as well as our travels, career, personal development, mental development, living with disabilities, anything that will empower your life for success. Today I'm talking about the bar to freelancers and small businesses starting out in Jamaica, because I am a freelancer and small business owner starting out in Jamaica for the first time. And as I told you guys in my last video about why I'm coming back to Jamaica, I want to make an impact in this industry as a digital influencer, as well as someone who has empathy and foresight for various different areas of Jamaican industry, despite the enormous positives and advantages that being a Jamaican in Jamaica at this time, wanting a new career, wanting to start something new, wanting to impact a new market can bring to us. There are also a lot of disadvantages that are both cultural and situational for Jamaica. There are things that I wish I had thought about a little bit more before I just plunged my head in the way that I did. It is not difficult to find clients and people who will understand and support your cause. It is hard to find clients who understand and support your cause, meaning there's a certain level of understanding and there's a certain unwilling to understand or do the research that they really need to hire a freelancer for the kind of services that they're wanting. It's like they saw it someplace and they're like, oh, it should be easy, it should be this kind of thing. It's not so simple. Without further ado, here are the 6 bars, difficulties, hurdles that Jamaicans may face when starting a small business or a freelancing career here on the island. So the first thing is that Jamaicans always expect some form of deal or little brata with whatever service they are asking for. This can be seen in any business. It doesn't even have to be a small one. It can also be a big established business, and there will always be Jamaicans coming in at Christmas time being like, I'm a good customer here, where's my Christmas gift? Because Jamaica is a very small place. You know the person, yeah, I hear that you do this, I need help with this, and you start talking to them, you're gung-ho, hear the details, etc, etc, and immediately they're like, can you do it for me for pennies? Especially as a freelancer, you need to be very strict and very particular with what your prices are, because your income is not consistent, and therefore you have to make up for blind spots. You know, there is a lot that goes into freelancing. There is a lot of time, especially when you're freelancing. When you're not in-house, there's a lot of information for you to be understanding, to be absorbing, to then be able to create something, whether it's graphics, whether it's a video, whether it's a jingle or prose, writing prose. Doesn't matter what you're doing, you have to understand that brand voice and that brand style for you to then create something for them that is of quality. That in and of itself, understanding that brand and understanding how they come across and how they need to come across to customers is a lot of work in and of itself, and you need to be properly compensated for that extra hours of work that you're putting in. The second issue is that though the digital age ball has definitely begun rolling in Jamaica, we are still not there. There are a lot of businesses and a lot of people who do not understand the extent and the importance of investing in digital media today. In general, why they need to be moving in that direction. They're already making sales. Why should they try to move into this unknown area when what they've been doing has been working so well so far? Which is basically, you know, something that I used to say as a kid, because I was just repeating whatever my parents had said, is that Jamaicans are very complacent. It is very easy to be complacent here. It's easy to create a brand without all of these fancy things because there is not a lot of competition. So people who really should be looking to the future, because very soon there will be a lot more competition from a lot of different places, especially when it starts to come in from abroad. If a big company from abroad comes in and changes the industry, they're going to be able to do it for cheap because they've been doing it all along. They have lots of assets. Do we really want to lose another industry to a foreign entity? Or do we want Jamaicans to step up and do it at a level, do it at a quality where we are now exporting instead of importing these kind of skills? The next thing is that Jamaicans are ageist. Man, I've had this conversation in so many different facets and not necessarily just about small businesses or career. If you are a younger person, whether you are against an older person, it doesn't really matter. Immediately you are looked at as immature, inexperienced, you don't know what you're talking about. Your word drops down like this because you are younger. I could have whatever knowledge from here to the Milky Way and back, and it's gonna fall on hard ears if my clientele are older than me. Especially as a freelancer, most likely they are. Because, for example, say you are starting a small distributing business where you're now selling a certain kind of cosmetic or a new soap that you design. If the retailers that you're trying to get the objects on the shelf for are older than you, or at least a generation older than you, they're going to be much more skeptical than someone who comes in with a lot of experience, which to some degree is fair because a lot of time age does mean experience, but Jamaicans take it to a next level where they're continuously trying to teach you things they also have no idea about. And that is something that I've found a lot of frustration with. If you work in bauxite, of course, I don't know about bauxite, so you could tell me everything that there is to know about bauxite and I won't feel frustrated. I went to school for media, I understand media, worked in 4 internships for media as well as full-on employee in media. And then someone who's not in media and marketing is gonna look me in the face and try to teach me about marketing. I'm going to get frustrated. Degrees. Okay, so this might not be a problem for everybody. Perhaps you got your degree and you're not even thinking about this. But you find in Jamaica they want everybody to be a doctor, a master's holder, these kind of different prestige positions before they listen to you. This is an extension of the last point. The hierarchy is very important in Jamaica. It's part of our classism that everybody knows is an issue. The world is changing and Jamaica also needs to catch brief of that. It's not just Jamaica, so I'm not going to just condemn us. You can have skills without putting yourself in 10 years of debt. Pausing for the people in the back. Number 5. Jamaicans don't respect time and contract perimeters. So everybody knows these memes going all around all the time about Caribbean people being late, which is true. I've had business meetings so far where people show up 2 hours late even. Partially this is because people rely on taxis and cars are unreliable and the rain is very heavy, and that makes sorting deadlines and having clear-cut plans very difficult because people don't follow time. If time isn't followed, blame can be passed on to the weaker party, which tends to be the small business or freelancing service in question. The smaller entity is definitely gonna be the one getting the blame. Customer knows best. In comparison to a business transaction where time is kept very cleanly, meetings, schedules, plans, all of these things are kept very concretely, very cleanly, there are no loose ends. It's very easy to keep everybody accountable and say, no, you asked for this, here's the proof, here's what I gave you, this is the standard. This is the kind of safety that a small business or a freelancer needs, because if you don't protect yourself, it's very, very easy to find yourself under the microscope with scrutiny or whatnot. So every freelancer, this is around the world, but especially Jamaica, you need a contract that gets signed on day 1. You need to be paid some deposit or in full from day 1. You need to have everything talked about, when you're getting paid, how much you're getting paid, what things they need to check up on, measuring success, measuring progress, what exactly they need delivered and when they need it delivered. All of these things need to be decided, signed off on, and very clear from day 1, or else don't follow their dream for them or follow up their plan for them, because it will bite you in the butt. Take my advice. And the last point, number 6, is that they expect too much because they don't really understand the depth of the work that you're doing half the time. If they're outsourcing, it's not something that they do often, so they don't realize the amount of hours it takes you to produce this kind of content, and therefore they undervalue the content that you're making, as well as they ask you to throw in so many other things that you should be doing. Yes, and do this for me too. Oh, can't you just... No! Tell them no! You need to teach your clients that you have a certain set of skills that you're not gonna find anywhere else, and that your time is highly valuable as much as their time is valuable. So they can't just be throwing this and that in your face. Stick to the contract, don't expect too much. This is what you get for this amount of time. This is how much time it takes me. Do not push me. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I hope it wasn't too heated. I definitely had a few situations going in, you know, talking to different clients, having different business meetings where I felt a little bit uncomfortable, as if they're not understanding the scope of the work, or they're asking for work before they even do research on what kind of projects they're embarking on having. If anybody has had similar experiences or is starting a new business and wants some advice about coming back to Jamaica or what they're going to be doing in Jamaica, leave me a comment down below and let's chat about it. Let's give some information for whoever else is watching, as well as deepen the conversation about professionalism in Jamaica, so that we can see the changes that we want to be seeing in the industries in Jamaica, in society, de facto. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and do all of those things. For us, it really helps us know what kind of content you like, and so that you can see the next video that we make. See you guys later. Bye.